The encounter between Jesus and Zacchaeus is one of those intriguing and engaging stories that catches our imagination and our attention. Perhaps from our childhood we have sung the song about Zacchaeus climbing the tree for the Saviour he wanted to see. Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem, and he would get there soon enough, but right now he is travelling through Jericho, and on his journey he encounters Zacchaeus. If I was to suggest to you that you might think of 2 or 3 or more words to describe Zacchaeus, I wonder what words they may be. You might use words that relate to his work, his job. You might think of words relating to his stature, or his character, or the position he finds himself in, or the view that other people have of him. Who is Zacchaeus? I also want to suggest to you there are 3 responses in this story we can think about. The response of Jesus, the response of the crowds, and the response of Zacchaeus himself. So first of all, Jesus. Well, Jesus meets with this hesitant, compromised individual. And he meets him with the same compassion and mercy that he meets everyone with. People who are interested or not interested, those who want to learn and those who do not. And Jesus invited Zacchaeus down out of the tree and invited himself into his home. And he spent time with him in his home. Jesus responded because he was absolutely part of his plan. He was the sort of person that Jesus came to find. And what about the crowds? Well, the crowds were grumbling, weren't they? Again, they were not pleased to see Jesus talking to a man like this. Who does he think he is, talking to someone like Zacchaeus? Particularly those in power or authority or those with status could not understand why Jesus spent so much time with those who were marginalised, those who were on the edges of society, those that people looked down their nose. That was the crowd's response. Zacchaeus, his response was a glad response. He was pleased, he was happy that Jesus invited him down out of the tree and wanted to spend some time with him. And he became a changed man. He became a generous man. He spends time with Jesus. And as a result of that, he resolves to deal with this question of wealth and the way he has cheated people over time out of their money by giving back 4 times over what he has taken and giving half of what he has to the poor. This is just one example of Jesus including in his plan others who many would discard, who would say were not part of what was intended, those who would be treated differently for any number of reasons. This is a story about inclusion. It's a story of hope. It's a story of respect and love for all, even the most marginal and despised people in society. And though we surely knew it already, the last week or so has really challenged us in our attitudes, our words and actions for those who we might see or others might see or who might themselves feel marginalised and excluded. We are all made in God's image. That's part of what we understand and learn as Christians, that God created the world and we're made in his image. We are equal in his sight. We are equal one with another, despite our differences, which our inward human frailties and selfishness exaggerate and highlight time and again. Despite our differences and our uniqueness, we are compelled to treat each other equally, with respect and with love, just in the way we saw Jesus with his encounter with Zacchaeus. That is offered to us. It is offered to all. It is offered always equally.